Koei Tecmo released a trailer for the upcoming RPG game called Fairy Tail, based on the popular manga and anime of the same name. Scheduled for release in Japan and Western countries by the end of this month. Have you seen any trailers for it, Jay?
Yes, I have actually.
I have not.
I feel like you're the
I
kind
know
of
it's
person
going to
who
be a
doesn't
thing.
care about Fairy Tail.
I hate Fairy Tail.
Yeah, I figured as much.
It's I've given it at least a dozen chances.
Mm-hmm.
It's just okay. So it's about magic,
Right.
and nobody dies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've I've got further in Black Clover than I have in Fairy Tail, and I can tell you, Black Clover's Fairy Tail done better. Because Fairy Tail starts off, the protagonist is not actually the protagonist, or is it Lucy?
I think it was stated that Lucy was the protagonist.
Okay, the male lead then
Mm-hmm.
already has like a high up position, and the female lead, the protagonist, comes in sort of low down, but since she's friends with him, goes really high up really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that, and then it focuses a lot on romance, and it takes away from the story a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure every main character ends up in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's not... I don't know. I feel like characters have to die for a show to, like... Especially, like, a shonen like that.
Right.
To have, like, a decent story, at least one character has to die.
But
like,
what about the power of friendship, Ducky? You can't let
This isn't
characters
Yu-Gi-Oh! J.
die.
This is not Yu-Gi-Oh! J.
I'm pretty sure that's their whole thing in Fairy Tail is the power of friendship, which is the most generic thing ever. But go ahead,
The power of friendship's a thing in Naruto, and Neji still died.
Oof, yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm just saying, if it's a show about magic and violence, surely someone's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it. What are your thoughts on Fairy Tail?
I've seen up to episode 110, I believe.
I thought you could say up to episode 1.
Yeah, totally. Episode 1. But so far as I've seen, Fairy Tail was an okay show. Not really my cup of tea. Like after 110,
Yes,
it
cup
kind
of tea.
Yeah, totally. But after like 100 episodes of watching Fairy Tail, I don't know. I kind of got bored of it because it didn't feel. I don't know. Like even though the whole premise was finding Natsu's origins or whatever, I just couldn't get into it. The only character I liked in this show is probably Gray, which is the guy who has
the ice guy.
Yeah, the ice guy with the short temper, and his love interest, which is the whatever her name was.
Juvia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
That woman.
Those two are my favorite characters, as well as Happy. But other than that, everybody else I just don't like. Especially Lucy Zodiac characters or whatever. I hate those things or whatever they are.
I feel like they're too gimmicky, yeah.
Yeah, that's just so dumb. But I kind of just dropped Fairy Tail after that because it kind of just... I just lost interest, so I'm not really a big
so we both
fan
dropped
of it.
Fairy Tail, nice.
Yeah, except
I dropped it on like episode 57, I think.
After they beat the Thunder guy or whatever.
Sometime at the start of season 2.
Yeah, you're pretty much...
I just got bored.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all, honestly. But I don't know. The game itself, based on the trailer, I guess it looks okay, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be another one of those anime games. But then again, I could be wrong because it's an RPG turn-based game, I think. So it could actually turn out to be a little bit better than like a game called Tokyo Ghoul Call of Two Existence.
It was a game you did one stream of, then got bored of.
Yeah, dude, that game sucks. Oh my god. The camera angles, like, if Bandai Namco pumps out a game like that, you know it's gonna suck.
But at the same time, they made Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is one of the best games so far this year. So.
And only because it's Dragon Ball Z. If it's Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, or maybe One Piece,
honestly,
they're good games. Other than that, if they make a Tokyo Ghoul game or One Punch Man or whatever, it's 100% is gonna suck.
I agree that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's only good because Dragon Ball Z. I got to like Cell's introduction and then got bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just punching people over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just different people every time. But like I say that one of my favorite games of the minute is Naruto Storm 4, and that's just punching people and using
I think
ninja powers.
I think the reason why the storms, even though you're right, and a lot of it is very, very repetitive for the Storm series, I think the reason why it's so good is because you get to go through the whole Naruto series, and the CG cutscenes and stuff kind of like made it so cinematic and cool and awesome like that. And I personally like that from my Storm games, and I was pretty mad when they made a lot of the Storm 4 cutscenes just
screenshots.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! I swear to God, I was pretty mad when I was going through the story mode through there, but
I skipped the entire story mode.
Yeah. Well, I actually just went through it, so because I bought the game.
I played the stages, but I skipped the cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the adventure mode in that game was great because it told you the story without cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Boruto DLC wasn't bad.
I don't know. I don't know about how I feel about the adventure mode, because talking to other people, then having to read the thing without cutscenes is kind of bland. But that's just me. That's just my taste of the Storm trilogy or whatever. I've never played any of the One Piece games though. Have you?
I played Burning Blood.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a bad game. It was interesting. I hyped it up a lot, and then I got it, and it was a pretty short story, and I got bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
It really, like, I finished the story, then got rid of the game because it was overhyped. One Piece as a whole is overhyped.
Yeah, I kind of get that sense as well.
One Piece shouldn't have been as long as it is, but it's successful because it's long as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people can say they don't like One Piece. I don't like One Piece. I'm going to be open about that. But no one can say One Piece is bad because of because it's so long. It wouldn't have gone on this long if it were bad.
Right.
They would have cancelled it. But for games, One Piece is bad.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a new one coming out, and apparently it's going to be good. So
they say that's what they said.
They
about
say that every time.
Yeah, that's what they said about the open world seeker One Piece game.
That was an awful. I went to buy it, and I was holding the box in my hand, and I got my phone out and looked at reviews, and so it was like 42% on Metacritic or whatever.
Bruh.
So I just put the box back and
it's like, nope, never mind. Yeah, because I saw the trailers. The moment I saw the first trailer for the game, I looked at the comments, and I had the same thoughts where the game looked so empty and so bland. Like, it's cool that you get to play as Luffy and it's like open world, but it's like just a lot of it is just, empty space, basically.
It's just like the Spider-Man game, but anime.
I don't know. Spider-Man feels a lot more filling, in my opinion.
Okay,
but I feel One Piece.
In the One Piece game, you get to swing around from Luffy's arm. In the Spider-Man game, you get to swing around from webs. It's the same thing in a different disguise, but Spider-Man's so much better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even though it kind of the same premise, at least Spider-Man feels a little bit like there's actual. The city is more alive, or the environment's more alive than if you compare it to One Piece World Seeker, which is like technically just empty. There's one character like far out in the distance and another character right there, and there's like no people around. It doesn't make it feel alive, and that's my problem with these games. And I feel like a lot of the anime games that Bandai Namco specifically, because they're the ones who are producing these horrible adaptations of anime shows. I don't know what's wrong with them. They just keep pumping these games out, like just milking this franchise. Even though I keep commenting on these trailers that don't buy this game, it's gonna suck. People still buy it. I see comments like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! It's gonna be hype," and obviously it's not, because it's an anime game. A lot of these anime games sucks. If it's not Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, or maybe sometimes One Piece, and it's gonna suck. A lot of, like I said, a lot of the Bandai Namco games sucks. A lot of the anime games sucks because it's made by Bandai Namco and they're very lazy and they just want to cash in onto the hype of those
trend
shows, or the trend.
Yeah.
What Ducky said.
I've noticed on the script you've put the One Punch Man game as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So can I talk about this game for a second? I've not played it, but a massive compilation of it came up for me on Twitter, where they actually made Saitama overpowered, where there's a version of him that kills everyone in one punch.
Mm-hmm.
So there was just like a minute-long version of him punching people in the stomach and getting KO come up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But like they balanced him out by making a version of him in his dream, where he can't kill people in one punch.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd think they'd like dumb him down in the game, right? Like
right.
In other, like, you know, it's like Dragon Ball Z games. In Dragon Ball Z, Super Saiyan Goku could like kill a Cyberman in one punch, but in the games he can't, because that they're making it balanced. So they made a character who can kill literally anyone, including himself, in one punch.
Mm-hmm.
You think they'd balance it, but they didn't. That's all I have to say about that game.
Well, they want it
dumb.
The only thing I appreciate about that game is that they keep it to the, you know, the original anime roots. They make it so it's like 1-to-1. So there's no like, oh, I need to nerf this character because he's too OP. But they keep it so he is OP, and there's a reason why he's OP, and that's why he's like more of an assist character than, or a winning condition rather than an actual character that you play, unless you play on free mode or something like that. But I'm totally accepting of that kind of stuff. Like One Punch Man and that aspect of it, I think what they did with the character of Saitama, they did good. I'm totally acceptable. That's totally acceptable. But the whole concept and the fighting game in general is just pretty bad. I don't know.
The idea, okay, One Punch Man's cool. It's great that they've got a show about fighting where it's not constantly about the main character training. That's great. But in a game where you will fight against other people, possibly online, I don't know about the game if it's online or not.
It is.
Having
they
a character,
always guarantee multiplayer in these games.
Well, having a character that can kill anyone in one punch isn't going to be fun online. So the series is fun to watch, but the game is not going to be fun to play if you keep losing to someone playing a Saitama.
It's not like you can play a Saitama. There's a restriction.
Oh, is he like... Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Like there's like a timer, and if that timer runs out, Saitama shows up and kills your opponent. And that's why if you get hits to the other player or something like that, then your timer drops a little bit, so Saitama arrives faster, and you're just basically beating the clock, or whoever gets Saitama first basically wins, or if you kill your opponent before that timer runs out, you basically win. That's pretty much the premise of the game. Okay.
Well, that's better than just having constantly, having the chance to play as him.
Yeah, I mean, you can still play as him, but it's more like in free mode.
It's the balanced version. Yeah.
If you play in ranked mode, which is ridiculous, and Bandai Namco is notorious for having the most horrible ranked mode for all of their games, they exclude him as a playable character.
That's good.
Yeah,
because that makes it fair.
Yeah, of course. So if you're Saitama, then you automatically win, obviously. But
how do you think they could improve the quality of these games?
I don't know. Like, personally, they could first off stop making these games. They could stop making them and take their time to actually think this out, because a lot of these games are just like, oh, let's make these models, make a quick environment using the Unity engine, and just do random get this to point A to point B, kill this amount of enemies or whatever. They make it so generic and stuff. They don't make it unique. Like, I like how at least Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, they put some more love into it, and it's very unique in its own way. But they don't do this with One Punch Man or Tokyo Ghoul. Like, imagine a Tokyo Ghoul like Kakarot, where you can like
It's
switch
Tokyo
between...
Ghoul, but it's about playing as Goku.
Totally.
Tokyo Ghoul Kakarot.
Goku with like an eye patch, and
Yes.
he in a barista outfit or whatever, working at that coffee shop in the corner.
Goku, but he has tentacles coming out of his back.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm pretty sure there's fan art like that somewhere.
I'm
on the
looking it
internet.
up.
Oh my god. But anyway, if they actually took their time to make these games good and actually put some love into it and not make it a cash grab, I think these games could actually become really good. But as based on Bandai Namco's track when creating these games, they just flat out, you might as well just put out a sign that says, "Oh, we just give us your money." That's pretty much my thoughts on it, at least. You?
I agree. I agree completely. The games, they rush them a lot. They need to slow down and take their time. Like, it's the same formula every time. You play through the story of a show, then you get free mode. That's all. That's why I like when games come up with like original. That's why I think that's why Dragon Ball Xenoverse did so well, because it was the same. It was the same Dragon Ball story, but it had stuff different to the show.
Right.
With like extra lore added.